today we're joined by a very, very special, and I'd like to say spooky, downright cannibalistic kind of way, intimidating. Today we get a chance to hang out with Billy. You go by Billy, right?
Yeah.
So Billy the Cannibal. I have to ask. First off, I'll be a really good host and ask, how are you today?
I've been doing pretty good. Just chilling. I got my wisdom teeth pulled last Friday, so.
Now you say teeth. Is that more than one?
All 4, man.
4.
Yeah, I feel great.
So I have to ask, because you're a cannibal, did you, like when they pulled them out, did you just eat them?
No, I don't think they would let me do that, honestly. I mean, I asked for my gallbladder out, or my gallbladder after they removed it. They wouldn't give it to me. They just kind of laughed, but I was being serious. I was really mortified that they were laughing at me like that.
Maybe because they were afraid you might eat it?
I don't know. Apparently it's a biohazard. I mean, how hard is it to throw it in a jar and put some liquid in there and call it good? But what I do with it is what I want to do with it.
I think you're referring to formaldehyde, but I mean, it is a biohazard, but I mean, here on Scary Story Stuff from the Res, we're all about the paranormal, creepy, morbidness. So I'm with you. Let's start you know what? All my listeners out there, let's start a Facebook page. Is Facebook still a thing?
Yeah, Billy's missing gallbladder.
For real. Let's get Billy's gallbladder back. Come on, we can do this. We'll start a GoFundMe to find the gallbladder and put it back in. Right?
Yeah, I miss it terribly.
Right.
It's like a lost dog.
It's a part of you.
Yeah, I'm very attached to my organs.
Literally.
Well, not anymore.
We can do this, though. We'll start it. Start a movement. Hashtag Billy's gallbladder.
It's a thing. It's an actual thing. I think about it daily, probably way too much. Honestly, every time I go to the bathroom, every time I'm cooking, it's really sad how much I spend thinking about this.
I just want to say real quick, I just got a brush of cold air just rush past me.
It's because I'm here.
So
my demons need to eat too.
I was gonna say, first off, I think we've touched on the whole cannibal thing. I know that we're calling you Billy the Cannibal. Of course, I know that that's sort of a change, a manifestation, as you will. You know, you walk through. I'm gonna make it more theatrical than it probably is, but you walk through the void, the in between, and you came out the other side as the cannibal. Now I'm telling all of this to tell you guys, Billy's actually been on the show before.
Yeah, it's nice to be back, honestly.
Billy was on the show originally when we first started. I want to say episode 3, maybe 2. In fact, her voice and her whisper is actually one of the voices in the intro that you hear. She was actually the one that inspired me to make the intro itself the way that it was.
It's so sad because I've listened to your intro and I'm sitting there trying to figure out which one's mine. I still haven't gotten it, but I'm sure maybe one day.
Now if you don't know, and I'm pretty sure I've told you this before, we'll just rip this one off too as a band-aid. We used to be married. We are best friends, thick and thin, through I do till I don't.
Till one of us leaves in a body bag.
A ride or die. But no, our daughter is actually in the intro as well.
That one I can hear.
Okay, so of course you would hear it because, you know.
Oh, I'd know my daughter's voice anywhere.
But I'll you know what? When we end tonight, go back and re-listen to that intro and see if you can pinpoint our daughter on there. I have to ask, what's new? What the hell is new with you?
Oh God.
In the paranormal sense.
In the paranormal sense, I don't know. Nothing's really changed. I think I've just gotten more known, especially after my incident and everything came out. So now it's the worst kept secret.
The whole cannibal thing.
Oh yeah, that was pretty interesting and intense. It definitely brought an interesting set of people out. But other than that, just just living life, just taking it day by day, being a mom and doing what I need to do. I do have some upcoming projects for, how do you say, business.
Some business ventures and
Yeah.
all of that kind of stuff. And toward the end, we'll actually plug some of your projects. So that way you guys can all keep up with Billy. And she has some amazing things. You have, gosh, I don't want to, I don't want to spend too much time before we get to the creepy. But you have done so many cool things. You are an inspiration. You're my inspiration for constantly doing content, for doing new things. Because every time I turn around, you're doing something different. Didn't you start up a tattoo business?
Yeah, it's been off and on, just because I have to take mental breaks. But I'm a very firm believer in, why would I pay someone else to do it when I can just learn this skill myself?
Why would you pay somebody else when you could be getting paid to do it?
You know, and it's funny because people think like I make money off of like every single skill that I've picked up. Honestly, I'm just curious about it, and then I want to perfect it. So I know how to do it for, like, say, beading. I learned how to bead, so I can give...
Wait. When did you learn how to bead?
Like hair beading, like for extensions and stuff.
Okay, all right. I was like,
yeah.
I think my listeners are probably the same way. The indigenous ones are probably like, wait, she beads?
No, I don't have enough patience for that.
Neither do I. I've tried.
Yeah, and my patience is very, very thin. And the last patience that I have left on this earth is for my kids. That's it.
I thought you were going to say the last patients that you have left are in some body bag somewhere.
Probably. There is no body bag because you eat them.
I was going to say probably a freezer.
No body, no case.
What's that? What was the show? Santa Clarita Diet?
Yeah, I am the zombie.
You are the Drew Barrymore. Oh my God.
But yeah, it's so, like, take hair beading for instance, because our daughter loves things in her hair. She loves extensions. She loves the colors.
Yes.
So I just learned that skill because I'm not going to go and pay someone $600 when I can just learn it myself. And I don't make any money off that. I do it because I just want to.
Sort of like out of love and, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not to get too gushy, but
I love learning. That's always been me.
You bookworm.
Pretty much.
So, what brings you onto the show? I mean, it's been a long time since we've heard from you. Weetas, as they say in our Northern Ute language. Haha.
Yeah.
So what brings you here?
I had a scary story for you that I experienced a little bit ago with my twin.
Oh my God. I insist that this story, let me throw a couple more logs on the fire. Ugh. Sorry, I ran out of my special potion and stuff that's supposed to protect us, so. But, of course, seems like you kind of brought some people with you, so.
Oh yeah, they're always here.
Would you say they're attachments?
Souls that I've collected and, devoured on throughout my life, so. Yeah, you could say attachments.
I have to end this with the story. I don't know if I've told the story about when you were pregnant, but I'll save that for the end. I want to give you that spotlight. So, what happened? You, the twin. What's going on?
So.
Perfect setup for a Jerry Springer episode, by the way.
Honestly, who's gonna be pulling whose hair? Anyway, no, we were up camping, and we were right on the public land, and then the reservation land. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. You went to an Ori reservation, right? Here in Utah.
I don't know what they call it. I'll be honest. I sort of live in a bubble. I guess that makes me ignorant, but we're on the border of that. Okay, you can figure it out.
So border of tribal lands.
There you go. That's so much better. My brain computed with that one. So we were having a fire, and
not unlike this one.
Yeah, mine was bigger and it was better. It was more organized. And
another clue to why we just didn't work out.
OCD, yeah, it kills me.
Kidding.
No, but we're really we're just listening to music and just having a good old time. We were grilling, and my twin, he stood straight up out of the chair. He goes, Did you hear that? Did you see something? I looked at him. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And he goes, something growled. Something growled. I'm like, I didn't hear anything. Because I really didn't. I was off in my own little world. I was like, it's probably like deer or something. So like I brushed it off. And he sat back down, calmed down. But when I say he levitated, I didn't actually witness him move, but I was staring at him. I was having a full-blown conversation. He levitated from the chair next to my side. And we both heard like this loud crunch in the tree line.
Sort of like something was walking.
Yeah, but the weird part was you could hear a woman's voice say, hello?
Oh.
I hear you. And so we thought it was like a lost hiker, right? So we're flashing our lights. You can't see anything with the fire going, by the way. Like, your vision is like it's so bad. So bad. The lighting's so bad. But yeah, we could hear the branches breaking. And I'm like, if you need help, we're right here. Just follow like the light, the fire, whatever. Didn't hear anything. So we resume after like 10 minutes. And then we heard metal. Like almost like a cage.
Okay. Like one of those like dog cage kennel kind of things?
Yeah, like where you like flip the door closed or whatever and it makes like that rattling sound.
Yeah.
And we hear her again. She goes, come here. I want to talk to you. Clear as day. Clear as day. I cannot make this shit up. Clear as day. She's like, I want to talk to you. And then we heard low, guttural growling, almost like it was animalistic. And I'm over here like, I already had my run-in with a skinwalker. I'm not doing this again.
Wait. I don't think that we've even heard that story.
I'm going to have to tell it to you, dude. I still can't go out after dark. So the fact that we were having a fire outside in the dark is really, really rare. And
sort of a big step for you.
And and it scared me right back into my box. Okay, like...
So let's get back to this though. Like I'm in it. There's a cage. There's a woman.
Yeah, it was like a rattling of a cage, but it was weird because you could hear it open almost, like I don't know how to describe it. Like almost like a lid popping open.
Are we still sticking with the whole creaky metal door thing?
Yeah, like you can hear it creak open. So you could also hear something dropping.
Like something was being put in it.
Yeah. And you could hear it hit the bottom of the basket almost. There you go, a basket. It sounded like a basket. If I'm being honest, it sounded like a metal basket. And you could hear the lid like close.
And you said that the voice that you heard saying that they wanted to talk to you was a woman, right?
Yeah, it was consistently a woman. Throughout this entire like ordeal, it was consistently a woman. But it's when she got close. And she did get close.
No.
Yeah. My twin was already by the camper door. He didn't even wait for me. He didn't even tell me to run. Nothing. I didn't even see him run. But she got really close. Almost like she was like right in your ear. And she goes, I see you. Just really quiet. I see you. And we just like, I was immersed in cold, chill, like air. My twin was already gone. Apparently he levitated and was just gone. He's like, are you coming? I didn't even know he could move that fast, for one. Two, my instinct was to look back, but there's nothing there. But you could hear her get further away into the tree line. But you could kind of like make out like almost like a silhouette. I don't know. I don't know how to like describe it because it felt like I was in trance with her, like I was vibrating at the same frequency as her.
Right.
I couldn't tell you like what she looked like visually, but I can tell you what she looked like, how she appeared to me on that frequency, if that makes sense.
Right, and that's something we've talked about on the show is the ability to read frequencies and stuff like that. I think that we've talked about that. Gosh, I've done so many, so.
Yeah, that's the thing. I could read her through frequency, through vibrations. She had long, really stringy, like, she almost, like, had, like, a curl to her back, like a golem.
Like a hunch kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. You remember Labyrinth where the old lady, like, she's in her room, and the wall just comes apart, and it's actually, like, a lady carrying all that stuff on her back? That's what it reminded me of.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I've never seen Labyrinth. You guys can chastise me in the comments here, but I've never actually watched Labyrinth. But it is. I mean, I saw The Dark Crystal.
That's not the same. I'm judging you. Anyway.
You haven't watched it, so
That's true. Okay, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, so that's what her silhouette looked like to me. I just knew she had like long stringy hair, but she was receding back into the forest line, and I went inside. Like that was it. That was game over. I went inside. We put out the fire. We went inside. Now we drenched this fire. When I say it was drenched, I mean there was a pool of water. I'm all for the environment. I'm not about to start a wildfire, okay? So that thing was like a moat.
Smokey the Bear would be very happy.
I'm sure he would. I deserve a gold star after that one. But my brother just happens to look out the window, and the fire's going.
Wait. So you guys put the thing out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's back up?
Like it never been touched. It reignited.
That is insane. That is super. Okay, so you guys drenched it out. It's back on fire. Like I'm invested now. I want to know.
Yeah, so we went back out there. We had to put it out, but there was still water, so it didn't make any sense. Like the logs were wet itself. There was a pool of water, but the thing was on fire. There was nothing flammable in it, so we took a fire extinguisher and put it out. Yeah, because we didn't know what to do. We didn't know what was going on. I didn't want to sound any more crazy. I'm sure my twin didn't either. We all went back inside. Half hour later, it reignites.
No.
We put this thing out 3 times.
In one night?
In one night.
Okay, so now I have to ask, did you guys go outside to each time to put it out?
We had to. I can't just let that burn.
Fair enough, but I mean...
But the land felt weird anyway. And when I say this, like, it was like an open clearing and you had a tree line. But the next day, nothing else happened after that. Besides, when we were sleeping, it sounded like someone was running into the side of the camper, and it felt like there was scratching on the windows. Like you heard scratching and knocking here and there.
Like it was like whatever it was trying to get your attention.
I took a Valium. I'm not gonna lie. It stressed me out. I took a Valium. I went to bed. So, next morning, we're kind of just like looking around. What we failed to see is that people that would hunt would bring the dead deer up. They would gut them, drain them, and they were throwing their carcasses in the back of the tree line.
What?
So that's why it always smelled like decomp. They were throwing them clear back there, and there was just a pile, like a mound. And like not too far to like the right side of that pile, there was like a hut, like a legitimate hut, like someone was staying in it. Almost like a teepee, not to be mean.
No. I mean, I think that you...
that was made out of twigs.
We'll actually put that up. We'll put that up on the screen right now. This is
because I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah, you did. You sent it to me. I know that because I looked at it and I was just like...
There's a bunch of like symbols around it.
I didn't look that close at it. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, so they were all arranged in some sort of like symbol, like octagon kind of thing. I don't know. It was really weird. And then there was feet, deer feet.
Like deer tracks.
Yeah, from like the knee joint down to its hooves. But usually those things like decay after a while. And you could tell like this one has been there for a while. But they were sticking straight up out of a tree stump. And the longer you looked at the site, the more there was something wrong with it. There was piles of fur and different spots. Not to mention there was a pile of puke behind the camper. None of us had puked, right? And it had been there for a while because it was growing its own ecosystem.
Wow.
Leading to the carcasses, the pile that they were leaving back there.
I'm just so confused because, like, okay, first off, why would you willingly just toss out deer carcasses? I mean, that they still have, I mean, the meat in them, like, that's...
Yeah, it was like a huge pile. I can actually take you to the site. That's how, like, eerie it is. There was, like, charred bones as well in the fire pit, because there was, like, 5 different fire pits, okay? It was literally like a cul-de-sac.
Right, like, sounds like it was like a camping site kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but it was remote. But it was like its very own cul-de-sac. But there was bones, like, just charred in the fire pit and stuff. So the land just didn't feel right to begin with. And then with that, I don't know. It was weird because our mutual friend came over like the day before to say hi, and she was talking about a folklore called Basket Lady. And she happens to be you. And we just all like laughed it off, but then, the next night, all that happened, and plus, how were we walking around this campsite? Because we had been there for a couple of weeks. How do you miss all that stuff? How do you miss something that big? How do you miss the piles of fur? And I don't know, like even my dog that I had with me, Needy, she just, I'm still mad about the fence line. But
no, I was just laughing the name of the dog.
Oh yeah, she's something. But she didn't like to be outside by herself. Like she would whine and she would cry and she'd bark.
So one could say that she was extra needy.
She just was so unsteady. Like she's been a dream since I've been home. She's been sleeping, just chilling, but she was always on edge up there.
It's interesting because I've been trying to get our mutual friend on the show. She has some amazing stories too. But yeah, Basket Lady. So for those that don't know, there's a folklore out here within the Northern Ute community. There's actually in the book there's a book out there called Ute Tales. You ever get a chance, pick it up. It's full of some amazing stories about cultural stuff. There's also some scary stories. The less said about the corn lover, the better off we all are. But there's a story in there they call...
I'm sorry, did you say corn lover?
Do not Google it. Please do not.
I'm not. I don't want that stuff in my search history. I already struggle with that, okay, because I have a lot of weird questions for Google.
But no, so within that book, there's a tale about what's called saints. It's a creature not unlike what you described. Like you said, kind of a hunched over back. And when I read the story, it sounded an awful lot like what we call, or what I grew up being told, the story of Basket Lady. My aunt, who's actually passed on since I was a kid, she used to tell the story of Basket Lady. Basket Lady in our culture was sort of this paranormal, scary monster that she would roam the area, the reservation, the land, and she would look for children. She would actually look for crying children or misbehaving children. It's very, behave. It was sort of one of those, like, not to get too religious, but it's one of those, like, if you sin or do something like that, these are the repercussions. So it was used like that, and that's the way that I looked at it. But I have never, ever in my entire life, and I'm over 3 decades on this earth, I've never heard of an actual Basket Lady encounter, and that sounds an awful lot like what you encountered. Although the metal cage thing, maybe she's, as a kid, that was something we were told was about. Not to veer off too much, but there was a Halloween contest when I was a kid. There was actually one when I was a kid and one when my grandmother was a lot younger. She told the story about this person that had put on this old lady mask, and she had wrapped her head in a bandana, and she had on her back a little wicker basket, like a handmade basket, and she was and they were wandering around the gymnasium, the Fort Duchesne gymnasium here in eastern Utah, for a Halloween contest. And that same exact person showed up when I was a kid, and my grandma, I call her my mom, she freaked out because they could not figure out who was behind that mask. Nobody has ever come forward, but they had the basket on their back, the old lady face, the hair was wrapped up in a bandana, and they had like little plastic baby dolls in the back of the basket. It was pretty scary. So that sounds an awful lot like what you possibly might have encountered. But the question, according to all the things that we have learned as kids about Basket Lady always comes around when you're not behaving, or when you're crying, or when you're not listening, whenever you're doing something bad.
Oh, that's weird, because I definitely was doing a lot of crying on that trip.
Then
I had massive amounts of anxiety.
So that right there, Basket Lady is drawn to crying.
So I probably lured her out.
So that's probably what it was.
Yeah, because my anxiety was whoosh all the way through the roof those couple weeks. I don't know why, but Oh man.
And as far as like the the TP or the structure that you found, I mean, in that area, it's not uncommon to find a lot of. So one of the cool things that I've done over the last couple months is I've really sort of dug my heels into the paranormal community out here. I'm so disappointed because I wanted to attend Paranormal Con that was out here in Vernal, Utah. By the time I went to go get tickets, they were already sold out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it sold out. There was, I want to say it was like a couple thousand people were actually out here this last weekend for Paranormal Con.
Oh man, I don't do paranormal. I'm like a beacon of hope for them. You can put me anywhere and I'll find something.
But no, like I was super excited for that. But yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But no, I've been searching, and it's funny because the last time that you were here, you wanted a basket lady story. You were asking for one.
Yeah, no, I didn't think I was going to get my very own.
You invoked it.
I deal with like enough like paranormal incidences at home with all my attachments that anything else that I did not ask for, but apparently in this case I did, is just like, oh man, it's like the flippin' cherry right on top of my shit show of life. Like, it's
you
nuts.
have to be careful. Like, that's another thing too. Like, you have to be very careful with what you put out into the universe.
Oh yeah, I could tell you some stories about my attachments. There's never a dull day. Our kids are so used to it now.
Oh yeah, no, I think that they've enjoyed that. Let's take a break because you did say you had a skinwalker story.
Yeah.
So let's take a break real quick. When we come back, we'll talk more about this skinwalker encounter that you say. So
Sweet. Yeah, we can give my mouth a break. I heard it as soon as I said it.
we can give my jaw a break too. So
it made it worse.
It made it
so much worse. Pause!
Alrighty, guys. Well, go stretch your legs. Go get your water. Grab that sweet grass. Or that cedar, that sage. Get ready to smudge. You're going to need it. Yeah, you guys are going to need it after this.
Yeah, don't light it. Just eat it.
Just don't eat it.
I don't know. They might shit out, like, blessings. Who knows?
We'll be right back.
For science.
Welcome back, everybody, to Scary Stories to Tell from the Res Paranormal Podcast. We've been sitting down here talking to Billy, and I was hoping that we were going to be able to finish up after our break. But it seems that our little cannibal friend has wandered off a little too far from the fire tonight. We did hear some rustling behind us. Maybe they were lost campers. Maybe there were some more attachments. I don't know. Billy said that she was going to go investigate. Hopefully she'll be able to ward off whatever it is that was behind us anyway. Hey, I just know I sleep a lot better knowing that she's out there, watching our back, watching the fire. So maybe next time, hopefully she wanders back to the fire, finds her way back. Hopefully next time she'll be fed. She was looking at me a little bit with that cannibalistic eyes. I'm kidding, Billy. But before we go tonight, I'm all over social media. I'm all over TikTok. And I came across a story that I feel like has a lot of relevance to Billy's story tonight because it talks a lot about, from the indigenous perspective, sort of advice, if you will, about, do's and don'ts, like we were talking about tonight. And I came across Dottie Zombie, that's Dottie Zombiee, that's 2 E's. And I want to play this before we put out our campfire, and let's hope that this one doesn't reignite, because I feel like getting out of here. I think I might be able to hear Billy kind of traipsing around into the background. I heard some screams earlier, but I wasn't. Let's play this real quick because, like I said, I think it has a lot of relevance. So, take it away, Dottie.
Let me tell you something that you shouldn't be doing, or at least I wouldn't recommend doing it. My grandma always told me not to be yelling, "Hello, is anyone there? Is anyone home?" to big empty spaces, like outside the window to an empty house, out into the woods just empty spaces in general. She would say, you probably are not going to like what's going to answer you back. The way she explained it was that there's bad spirits there, there's bad energy there, and when someone's calling out, they think that somebody's calling out to them, and they're going to answer. They're going to follow you home. The reason she told me this was because when we were little, my brother actually did this in an old jail. He was yelling around, talking to empty spaces. Something ended up following him home.
Ooh. Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about tonight, about the calling out and listening. Although, of course, Billy's story was they were talking to her. So, you never know. I know that whistling at night has always been one of those big no-nos that we don't do here. But if you guys want to hear more scary stories, you guys can find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok. I'm at Scary Stories to Tell from the Res on TikTok. I'm also on Lone Bear Media Productions, if I have that right. And right before we go, I'm going to be linking some of Billy's activities, some of the stuff that she's up to now. If you guys want to know more, you guys want to hear more, let me know. Let me know in the comments, because I want to get her back here so we can really dive into that Skinwalker story. You know, that maybe we'll title it Cannibal v Skinwalker or something. And let's dive a lot more into the whole cannibalistic thing. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully she's out there feeding her cravings. Hopefully she's safe. I hope you guys are safe. I hope that you guys walk away tonight, smudge yourself off, bless yourself, say a prayer for yourself, for us, me more than anybody. No. And I hope you guys all stay safe. I hope you guys all stay smudged. And most importantly, I hope you guys stay scary. I swear I'm working on a merch line. But until that time, guys, I hope you guys stay safe. And until next time, you guys have been listening to Scary Stories to Tell from the Res. Scary Stories to Tell from the Res is a Lone Bear Media production.